Hello, Victoria! Come on, let's go. Let's get some energy in this place. So very quickly, Vlad Sobolev was born in Soviet Union, very similar to Roman Baber. That's why we can see the BS a mile away, because we actually were born, lived in it, and we were indoctrinated into the communist religion because that's what it was from kids. You know, I did not come from a fanatical communist family. The environment did the indoctrination. Very similar to the way our kids now are exposed to the new religion, which is called COVIDism. That's why I call it, right? So we have to be very clear that we are not the target. You know, they're perfectly okay with the amount of adults that they're getting. The kids, that's who they're after. So that's why one of my slogans is always protect all kids. Not just protect your kids. If your kids are blessed to have you as a parent, that's amazing. What about other kids, right? So those are things that are very important. But very quickly, Hugs of a Mask is what started in Toronto, May of 2020. I've been organizing people to combat the tyranny for the last 2 years, since April of 2020. I went to Queen's Park for the first time ever in my life to protest. I've never been to any protest before, and I say this for a reason, because you can do the same. If you've never done anything like this in your life, guess what? It's your time right now to do something. By the way, let's see really quickly, who's here for the very first time? This is your very first rally. Look around you, there's a few people. Give yourself a round of applause. It's important to see new people every time. One of the things that we've done with Hugs of a Mask since day one is educate people. This flyer, you're probably very familiar. We distribute about 500,000 of these cards all across Canada. And this is what we wanted to do since day one, to educate the people. So we know the real facts, the real science, and we can combat that from the government, media, brainwash, and all that stuff. The other organization that I started in October of 2020 is We Are All Essential, which is a business empowerment network. I understood that we need to bring people together, like-minded people. So Hugs of a Mask was for the family, for the kids, etc. We All Essential was for the businesses. And we did the first grand opening of the businesses back in February of 21, you know, to make sure that we have some businesses able to stand up to the tyranny. Because, again, coming from Soviet Union, I know exactly when the government tells you what you're allowed to do or not, what's essential, what's not essential, right? In Soviet Union, everybody was the same, but I was outside the store with the food coupons to get to the store, because the government's actually decided how much food you're allowed to buy for your family. It did not matter how much money you have. The government told you how much food you're allowed to buy. But then the politicians had red caviar, black caviar, whatever they wanted. So we were not the same. So that whole concept, we're all in this together, was very, very clear for me since day one. When truckers happened, and as they were on the way, I actually was in Toronto at the time. So I actually went to Ottawa before truckers arrived. And I stayed there for a month and a half. During and even after, was organizing the rallies to continue, even after February 18th, which was definitely a historic moment, as Roman Baber mentioned. But part of my speech in Ottawa was about this. We need to have faith in ourselves above all. We need to have faith in ourselves. We need to have faith in our community, in our country, because ultimately it's up to us to make a difference, as was mentioned previously, that if you don't know, in Alberta a week ago, they basically were able to organize not 3,000 people. That's initially Alberta Conservative Party was thinking going to come and cast the vote for the leadership, but almost 40,000 people participated in a democratic debate to challenge the leadership of the Alberta Conservative Party, and Jason Kenney decided to resign, to step down. That shows to you the power of the people when they actually come together. So when people say the freedom movement doesn't accomplish anything, even before that, O'Toole had to step down because of the truckers movement, right? So those are the casualties of the freedom movement that we've been organizing now for the last 2 years. And then ultimately we need to know that it's a victory over fear. My ongoing message since day one's been it's facts over fear, it's love over fear, and it's victory over fear. We need to have a mindset that we're winning this. And in fact, I believe that we already won. And you know how I know that? Let's give it up for ourselves. We already won. Because it does not matter what the other side does at this point. We're only getting exposed. And you know how I see it? It's like we're definitely at a different level of consciousness. Because for us, it's so obvious when they're talking about, economic measures, but then they're driving the limousines and they're flying to the Davos, etc. They're exposing how hypocritical we are. When they're telling us we have to eat bugs for lunch, but then they're having pulled pork and cod and everything else, they're exposing who we are, right? When you have Justin Trudeau talking about democratic freedom in this country, but then they're doing what they're doing to us and the media, etc., they're exposing who we are. And for us, it's obvious, but they can actually not see it because they are at a different conscious level completely. For them, it makes sense what we do. For us, it's just please doing it because you're only exposing who you are. That's why I know for a fact, no matter what the other side does, we already won, but it doesn't mean we need to stop. We need to keep going, we need to keep organizing, we need to keep bringing people together. And that's my ultimate message, that have a single conversation with a person because that will make an impact. Ultimately, that we are all contributing to the rising of consciousness and exposing the truth, and people, and even they agree. But that's it, guys. I just want to acknowledge all of you coming here today. Thank you for squeezing me in for a few minutes to share some powerful message or whatever, guys, resonates with you. But it's all of us together working for the last 2 years, or whenever you joined, even if you joined in the last 6 months, thank you for coming. Welcome to the Freedom Family. Give it up for yourself. Welcome to the Freedom Family. We are all making a difference with every single action that we take. Wearing a t-shirt, giving out the flyers, wearing the buttons, having a conversation. If we all commit just talking to one new person a day, that's all. In 1 month, the whole country will be awakened. But we have to be consistent. So who's gonna commit to talking to one new person a day about freedom, about truth, and about future of our children? That's it, guys. That's all it takes. It's committed, consistent action, and united, not compliance is the only way. I love you guys. Stay healthy, stay free, and stay awake.